Recording.
Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, chick, boom, chick, boom, chick. Plug in the amp and welcome to another episode of Reese's Reviews, brought to you by mygeekculture.com.au. Can I say that any faster? No, I can't.
Then I'm going to time in.
Yes, yeah. My name is Matt, and joining me on this podcast of Reese's Reviews is the guy that this podcast is named after, Reviews Cashel. So
Reviews Cashel, I am here. Yes, thank you for another week. Another awesome thing has a lot of entertainment has happened, and a lot of things have been we've watched and intrigued about. So it's going to be a great episode.
And I just stood at the wall. Oh, sorry, sat down and stared at the wall and just watched time go by.
We're getting closer. It's getting closer.
We are. We're getting closer. So
another month down, and another day closer to Doomsday. No,
excellent.
Doomsday.
Doomsday, yes, indeed, and yes, I promised that we're going to be doing Doomsday, so we've locked that in.
Yes,
and well, we might as well get into it because we've got a lot on.
Yes. Okay. So
you know what though? While we do have a lot on, there will be a time when we don't have a lot on, and we'll just be sitting there for about a minute or two, and then it will just be,
TikTok.
Anyway, with your honourable mentions.
Onwards and upwards. So as we brought into one of our new segments this last week, we're going to start off again.
What's the segment called again?
Off the top.
Off the top. Off the top. Off the top. That name again is Off the Top.
I just don't know. I got to think. We're really going to think. I guarantee there's a song out there that says "Off the Top" on it. But just as everyone coming into the zeitgeist of this podcast, welcome to the awesome podcast that this is. As recent reviews done by My Geek Culture, but off the top is just certain topics that we don't going to make. Not going to make a main topic within our Entertainment Honourable Mentions, but deserve at least some recognition to get a little bit of shits and giggles to see what we kind of thought about it. And so, the first thing I wanted to get a kind of thought about is the fact of a certain event is coming up in America this weekend, and I want to know if you know much about it. Do you know anything about CinemaCon?
I've heard of it, but can you please elaborate, because you are expert
for our audience. So CinemaCon is pretty much the creme de la convention, the convention that's the most important convention of the year when it comes to studios. When it comes to the studios putting out the theaters movies you see in theaters, this is the biggest calendar event of the year for them. So this CinemaCon is a convention run by Cinema United, where all the studios come together for a weekend in Vegas, run from 13th this year from the 13th to the 16th of April, and the studios have panels over the weekend, and they present all the feature films that are coming up on their slate with the next 6 to 12 months, and they pitch pretty much to all the theater owners all around the world come into Vegas, and it's up to the studios to present what they have on their slates, because the theater owners choose what goes on their screens inside their cinemas, what movies get what screens, and all that kind of fun stuff. It doesn't just get personally assigned. The theater owners choose what goes on their screens. And so it's up to the theater owners, the studios, to pitch and show them footage, trailers. There's also sometimes full screenings, everything they can do to bring out what they've got going on in the slate in the next 6 to 12 months. I really look forward to seeing coverage. There's a pundit that I listen to every day that he does an amazing coverage of CinemaCon each year. I'm going to give him a bit of a shout out. He's the John Campier podcast. It's absolutely he does a fantastic coverage of CinemaCon, and he goes through each presentation. He goes through what was presented, what was shown, and he kind of gives us the hype of the next 12 months. So I just wanted to give that a bit of a shout out in this off the top, because I'm really looking forward. I look forward to the presentation that they put on, and watching Campier's coverage of that to see what slate, what we're going to be getting for the next 6 to 12 months, and what was shown and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next week and hearing all about what's going on. I'm intrigued to see what. There's a lot of speculation that Disney has a 2.5 hour panel, and there's a lot of talks that they'll provide them the first footage for Doomsday. There's a lot of speculations for all the other studios. When it comes to Sony, they might show some great footage of Spider-Man Brand New Day, along with Beyond the Spider-Verse that's coming up as well. There's all these different studios that's coming down as to that. So I think it's one of the biggest event calendars for cinema and the moviegoers. Anyone who's a fan of film, it's one of the biggest things that we kind of latch onto to see because all the stars as well come to, like Tom Cruise will come there. All the stars will come.
You should go to them one day. You should go there and cover it.
I don't think, because it's really hard to go to CinemaCon, and you have to be in the media to get invited to go, or you have to have certain credentials or certain pull within the media, which is technically what we're doing now as a zeitgeist, but you have to have a certain pull to get access, because you have to pretty much get a media pass to get into CinemaCon. You can't. It's not for the general public that you can go. I would love to go. From what I've heard about that convention, I would love to go, but unfortunately, it's not for the general public. But yeah, I just thought I'd give it its props and educate our audience who doesn't much know about CinemaCon. But when I say all that about you, I know you said you knew a little bit about CinemaCon, but after I said just what I have just noted, what's your 2 cents about that coming up?
Oh, I think that's a really cool thing. It's like the fact that I didn't know about this earlier, I would so go to it. And it's just kind of like to me, it sounds like a supernova. It's like a pop culture convention purely just for cinema, or like the Cannes Film Festival, just like Cannes.
Yeah, it is like the amount of things you would see. It is expensive. Like it's like, from what I understand, it's like $1,300 a ticket.
Well, mate, next time you're going to have to go to the Gold Coast for the actors and just hang out at the festival, which is free for most of it.
I would love to do that. For if we can get some. This thing, if this podcast does what it's supposed to do and just build awareness for our love of cinema and of pop culture,
especially Australian, since you're part of Australian, you love the Aussie cinema just like me.
Yeah, if we can get some pull for that, and keep our eyes open for this, because Supernova here in Sydney is coming up in a couple of months, which I'll be attending. And hopefully do some more coverage for that this year. Hopefully it's a bit better than my coverage last year, as I was fresh off the boat last year. But hopefully this year's coverage is a little bit better for our audience. But yeah, I'm really pumped to see what's comes out of CinemaCon. So that was just one of them. There's a few other things I could talk about off the top, but one of the things I wanted to talk about is we've had some premieres of some great shows these last couple of weeks. So we had the premiere of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. At this moment in time in this recording, we've had the first 3 episodes released. As of recording this podcast also, we've had the first 2 episodes of Star Wars Shadow Lord drop. And we've had, also as of today, I was recording this podcast, we've had the first 2 episodes of The Boys, Season 5, the final season of The Boys. Now,
soon enough as well, speaking of TV shows, there's 2 more weeks left at the time of this recording of the return of Scrubs. So there's 2 more episodes to go, and then I'll give my full cap review.
Beautiful. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be great. So with all these 3 shows, so Star Wars, Shadow Lord, Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, and The Boys, first thing before I move on any further, are you interested or have you seen those 3 shows?
I am interested. Haven't seen them.
Okay.
Haven't watched them yet. So I refuse to skip to Born Again. I want to finish off the final season of Daredevil from the Netflix edition. Because
I would say yes to do that, because since they went back and redone everything and they said that Born Again is a continuation, I would say continue finishing off the series. Yes.
And same with Jessica Jones. I've got to finish off the 2nd season. And I still got to do all, I just got to finish off the Netflix era.
Well, I say you don't really have to have a huge necessity. At least Daredevil, yes. And at least watch the first 2 seasons of Daredevil.
What about the Defenders?
Yeah, it's the first two seasons.
No matter how, not forget how good or bad they are, but for story continuation.
Yeah, well, I think if you want to go into Born Again, at least finish the first two seasons of Daredevil, then go into the Defenders. Watch season 3 of Daredevil because it takes place straight after the Defenders. You can watch Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist if you want to. But then that leads into one of our honorable mentions that we'll be talking about shortly. But me personally, out of the 3 shows, I've watched the first 2 episodes of Maul. I'm up to date with Daredevil Born Again, and I've watched the first episode of The Boys season 5. Now, just off the top, I think Star Wars Maul had a great start. I thought the first 2 episodes were okay, pretty solid. I loved the introduction of Maul in the first episode where they put in the Duel of the Fates kind of theme song when his introduction. I love that. That was cool. The Boys season 5, what they spoke about will happen in the first episode. Yeah, I've only seen the first episode as recording this podcast, but I love this series so much. It is just as filthy and bloody and just emotional, impactful. So cannot wait to watch the rest of this season. And Daredevil Born Again, I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm already enjoying it a lot more than season 1. I love Daredevil Born Again. I love what's it called? What's it called? Charlie Cox has not lost a beat. He has gotten himself ripped for this episode. This latest episode will make all the girls swoon. He is ripped in the scene. And I loving Daredevil Born Again, and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is brilliant as always. So I'm loving what they've done with these 3 shows. I think out of the 3 shows, I'm more interested in The Boys, but Daredevil Born Again has hit the ball running. And the fact that we're getting a new season every year now, and they've already started filming season 3, which we'll be talking about shortly. I just love this as well. So what is I know you're a bit behind the mark a little bit when it comes to watching things as much as I am, but do you think what's your expectations for these 3 shows, and when do you think you get around to watching them?
I would honestly, I swear this is the truth, that I was waiting for The Boys to completely finish so I can then subscribe to Amazon Prime Video and binge watch them.
Right.
Okay.
So you got to stay up all the spoilers then.
Oh, that's fine. Like, I've seen a lot of spoilers. I've seen a lot of bits and pieces, and I just going, yep, cool. But like, as in, I'm not like, so I know. I just know that when I get up to certain parts, like some of the stuff that's visual, exciting, funny, and grotesque. But it's like when I watched Lost. I binge watched Lost years after, like on Disney Plus, and I already knew all about it, but it still didn't ruin it for me. So,
okay, that's good to know.
So, and then Maul, of course, Maul. I'll get around to seeing that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to watching them. Definitely.
Cool. All right, cool. So that's our off the top. So we didn't go into too much detail with those 3 topics, but I thought they deserve their flowers and just give some awareness of the things that's going on, and our quick little thoughts about at least those 3 shows that were currently on our minds.
Oh, okay. I thought that was honourable mentions.
No, off the top, mate. Off the top.
Yeah. All right. Off the top. That segment again was off the top.
We've got to find some sort of jingle for that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a great segue into our first official topic for Entertainment Honourable Mentions.
All right.
So, keeping into the realm of Marvel and Daredevil Born Again. Again, I'm loving this season so far. The latest episode that I just watched, episode 3, was incredible. As all Daredevil fashion, they gave us a one-shot, which is famous for Daredevil. They've done it in every season of Daredevil, and the one on this episode was fantastic. So great done. Didn't know that the swordsman that they introduced in the Hawkeye series was a bit of a throwaway character in that show, But in Daredevil Born Again, it made us like him a lot more. So I'm really intrigued about that. Now, as I said in our Off the Top, they are already filming season 3 of Daredevil Born Again, which is coming out next year. This is awesome. I love we're getting back to the point where we're getting a season every year.
And you know what? I'm really hoping that because of that, they will also squeeze in a cameo from She-Hulk.
No, but you're on the good vein about something. Okay, so with this season 2, we knew about last year that Jessica Jones was going to make an appearance in season 2. So in the first season of Born Again, we had the return of Jon Bernthal's The Punisher, which was awesome. And I
did see the teaser of a certain marksman of sorts in a trailer.
Bullseye.
Yeah, Bullseye. Fair enough.
Bullseye. Yeah, Bullseye is in the first season of Born Again.
How trippy would it have been if they got Colin Farrell to come back as Bullseye, and then that would have made the whole thing meta.
He made me miss. You know, I always said, too much pride can kill a man. But we love you, Colin Farrell. That was awesome. So we all knew Jessica Jones is going to be in this season of Daredevil Born Again, and we're all speculating of what's going to happen with them trying to recruit and battle against Fisk's anti-vigilante task force. And our theories and our thoughts were confirmed. Now, I'm getting this off the IGN site, which was confirmed.
IGN.com, yep.
Yep. So while Daredevil Born Again has just started airing its second season of episodes on Disney+, production is already underway on its third season, which will seemingly reunite all of Marvel's Netflix-era Defenders. Set photos taken while filming on location in Brooklyn last week has revealed the return of Mike Colter as Luke Cage and Finn Jones as Denny Rand, a.k.a. Iron Fist. Nice. Jessica Jones actress Kristen Ritter was also spotted, confirming she'll be back again next season and after previously being confirmed to return for upcoming episodes. So there's leaked set photos and it was officially confirmed by Marvel as well by looks of it. Pretty much all of them have been set to return for the show. So, I am loving this news. The Defenders are officially back. They are officially within the MCU. Mike Colter, who originally said that he was done playing Luke Cage, only in recent time has said that will consider it. Now it's official. They are back. And even though the Iron Fist show wasn't great, I'm really excited to see with the material that they're getting with the writers and the showrunners for Daredevil Born Again, that they're going to give material worthy for Iron Fist and give that kind of resurrection or another Born Again for Iron Fist to see what they can give to him. Because, that Iron Fist show wasn't great, but he wasn't. I think he deserves to have another chance as well. And I know this goes in the same point of another show I'm watching at the moment called Monarch Legacy of Monsters. But there is, I really hope that the fact that they're bringing back these characters of that, I hope they also bring back some of the supporting characters, because I'm actually, one of the things I loved about the Iron Fist show was Jessica Henwick's character, Colleen. I really liked her character, and I think she is gorgeous. I really like her. I saw her in a recent film. What film did I see her in? What was it? She was in Glass Onion, only very briefly. But where else did I see her in? Oh, this is going to annoy the hell out of me now. I'm going to go back through my... she was in The Matrix Resurrections, which is but she was in a bunch of other stuff, but I can't remember what it was. That's right. That's right. The movie I think I did on this podcast, How to Make a Killing, with Glenn Powell. I saw her turn up on that, which I didn't know she was going to be in, and I went, "Oh, that's Jessica Henwick from Iron Fist. Oh, she's just as gorgeous as she's ever been." And I really hope they bring back her character. If they able to bring back a certain Ahsoka character, maybe Rosario Dawson can come back as Claire, maybe. But I'm really excited to see the Defenders back, and if they're going to bring back with us the way they've amped things up in season 2 of Born Again, I'm so pumped to see what they're going to do with season 3. and what foe they are going to do to pretty much bring in that's needed to bring these four characters back together again. So I'm pumped for this. So I know when we just talked about off the top that you're not up to date with the Marvel Netflix era.
No, but
stuff.
I keep across it because I read the news and I keep across it news wise and other bits and pieces. But for any in depth detail, I am not across it as yet. So
what's your 2 cents about this? Is this giving you?
I think that's fantastic because they're finally able to stitch things together now, all in a lead up for Doomsday and post Doomsday as well. So
just don't expect you won't expect the Defenders to be in Doomsday because I think there's a kind of a contractual thing that they can't be on the big screen for certain things. Like I know they had Matt Murdock in No Way Home, but I think it's a bit of a fine line what they can use those characters for. But I'm pumped for this. This is going to be.
Well, he didn't suit up. He was just there as Matt Murdock. That was it.
It was Daredevil wasn't utilized. It was Matt Murdock. So I'm pumped for this. So is this going to give you a bit of a push to get to start finishing off the Daredevil?
I want to, of course.
Cool.
Definitely.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, when we get to the end of when I review Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Matt's going to be all caught up and he's going to be all done and you'll be able to all review it together.
Mate, I do other podcasts too and I got to watch and review other shit as well at the same time. So, mate, what are you doing to me? You're putting this unwarranted pressure on.
It's okay, mate. It's all right. You can stay up until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, I've already been starting to watch a movie for a future Reese's Reviews podcast segment. Yes, so see, at least I'm trying to prep for one thing at least. Jeez.
We will let our audience know about that movie maybe in the next week or two. But yeah, so that's the first topic there. So I thought that was at least something which should be definitely to be said. Going into the next 2 topics, these are right up your alley. I picked these topics because, one, they are great to be news, but secondly, I knew these would be right up Matt's alley. This would be just for you.
I hope not.
Perfectly.
Mean metaphor. Anyway, yep.
Yeah. First one is for a certain TV show you have raved about and you reviewed on this podcast. Mm-hmm. Now, according to Deadline, the mystery from the hit Showtime series Dexter Resurrections first season has been solved. The key is Brian Cox. The Emmy winner has joined the season 2 cast in the series regular role of the New York Ripper, a serial killer who terrorized the city years ago. Though no longer active as a killer, he's found a new way to live into his infamy by continuing to taunt the survivors of his long age murder spree. It was revealed in the season 1 finale that Dexter Morgan, spoilers alert for everyone who hasn't seen the finale, had discovered the identity of the New York Ripper when he found a folder belonging to last season's baddie Leon Prater, Peter Dinklage, embolized with the name Don Frapt, New York Ripper. The folder was part of the stash that Dexter tucked into a duffel bag, not as mementos but as leads. So far, we know Dexter will find at least one from partner's batch of favorite killers. So it pretty much then goes on to pretty much say that it's who the showrunner is and season 1 takes place where it takes place and like fun stuff. But the main thing is that it is never a bad thing to bring on brilliant talent. And the fact of how well that Dexter Resurrection has performed, seeing as how New Blood failed so drastically
it didn't
with the audience.
Fail. It didn't fail.
It did. When you look at the reviews for Dexter New Blood, it didn't do well. So that's why they canned it. They brought back Original Sin for a prequel. That did very well.
No. You got that all wrong. Wrong. New Blood was basically no. Okay. New Blood was just to wrap things up like again, we're in major spoiler territory here. So if you're listening, it's already anyway. don't know why I'm trying to backtrack. But with the end of the original Dexter series, he disappears, fakes his death and becomes a lumberjack, right? And everyone was fucking pissed off with that. And it's just like, oh, come on. Now, in the book series, right, if you are a hardcore fan like me, you read the books, and in the books, he went a different direction. The books came out before the TV series as well. So in the books, he dies in a very cool, clever way. Now, in the original Dexter, he just disappears, and it was just like, oh, he's gone into hiding. That's fucked. And then, so it was just a bloody outrage. Then when they did New Blood, it was because for years, like Showtime were riding on the back, they had they were being dragged along through the blood and the mud of, we want a better end for Dexter. What's going on? And then finally, when they announced New Blood, they realized because it's been so many years past, they can continue it on, drag it back in with, hey, Harrison, his child that he had with Rita, who was murdered by the Trinity Killer, played by John Lithgow. He was going to track down his dad, Dexter. And then it's that what if, if Dexter's tendencies of, because of how he grew up, watching his mum being slaughtered in front of him, and then that's what happened with Harrison as well. So Harrison witnessed his mum's death as well, and as a child, so it's just like, oh, maybe you'll have that same knack as well, the itch to kill, and he basically did, and so Dexter trains him to, learn up on the code that Dexter's foster dad Harry taught him, and then basically it was like how long can Dexter get away with going to hiding, and the fact that he was also at the time dating a police officer, basically the sheriff, and so.
What I gather with everything, this is great because you are the passionate Dexter fan, and I know you think that everything is. I
was satisfied with the ending because it was basically when the way that it ended, Harrison shoots Dexter, okay, right in the heart, and then Harrison, the sheriff allows Harrison to escape, and it's like, hey, you do your thing, you're innocent, you've just done us a duty type thing, you can go and disappear and whatever. And so Dexter finally carks it, or it seemed to be. But the way that they did it, it was like, okay, that's a satisfying conclusion, which I was like, yeah, he's gone. He deserves it. Someone who, it's bittersweet because it was his son. The only person who can kill Dexter would be someone who knows what Dexter is like, and that was his son. So it was like, okay, that's fine. And they left it, they wrote it in a way where that if it was a hit or whatever, they can continue. And so Dexter Resurrection, the way that they did it, because he was in the snow and the sheriff was there, kind of the snow slowed his heartbeat down and, blood pumping. So he was basically, and he was brought back to life. Like people have been known to be brought back to life because of hypothermia and, the cold and stuff like that. So, now, with Dexter Resurrection, that is basically the sequel to Dexter New Blood. The New Blood was only a limited series. It wasn't meant to be continuing on.
Are you sure about that? Because
100%.
When I read about New Blood, it was
the idea was
that, like a new original series within the universe of Dexter, and because it didn't do well, they tried to go down a different avenue.
No, it did very well, and with New Blood, if there was the opportunity, if Harrison, they were open to do a sequel, like a season 2, as you would say, and so Dexter could be the ghost or the conscience of Harrison, and he continues his ways. But then, so they left that option there if they wanted to. But they did it so it was a bit of a conclusion and to wrap things up. But then, because of the popularity of it, and then they go, you know what? How how about we just bring Dexter back alive because he was in the cold, and they resurrected him.
Well, they knew that storyline with the son wasn't working, and they needed to find a more centric point.
It wasn't strong enough. It wasn't strong enough,
Yeah.
and they found a better way to doing it. And then, bam! Suddenly, all these people, all the big stars, jumped on board to Dexter Resurrection.
Because I think it comes down to the writing and how the showrunner was using it. I think.
So that was one way, and then
What I read online about New Blood to Resurrection is that New Blood, the Resurrection was definitely a different tone, a different pacing. It took very much a lot of avenues like the original series did, and it wasn't. It was just a completely different kind of series. And
well, they had to.
What I understand with Resurrection is that they were able to get these big stars like Uma Thurman and Peter Dinklage to bring into these eccentric characters and have some formidable foes again. That where you just got a father and son drama doesn't really work with Dexter, but it's more about him coming to terms with his demons and battling someone who can match him. And I think
have you seen
bringing on Brian Cox, I think is going to be brilliant. Like,
have you seen
he will
Resurrection?
always be. No, I gave up on Dexter after John Lithgow's season.
Okay.
Like I couldn't deal with the way the style of the show or what it was. Like I got through John Lithgow's season and I went, I can't do much more of the show.
I remember watching
it wasn't good.
I do remember watching that season. Like, I was shocked. Like, it had my jaw dropped because at the same time,
the writing and the acting was brilliant. It's just that by the end of that season, I was emotionally kind of spent. Like I can't deal with this kind of.
It went downhill from
again.
there, and once they killed off Rita, it went downhill from there. Okay, so you're kind of right. If you weren't dedicated to it, you're kind of right for letting it go. But because I was a hardcore fan, I continued on, and then it was okay. And then they tried to push far, but they hit their peak, and then it came down to the showrunner because there was a new showrunner that came in, and he fucked things up.
What's your thoughts about Brian Cox coming on board?
Oh, I think it's fantastic because Brian Cox is just absolutely phenomenal in a lot of things that he's been in. Like, I haven't even seen Succession. I know that he's fucking good in it.
I haven't seen Succession either, but he'll always be Colonel Stryker to me.
Yeah, I thought so. And then also the chief in Super Troopers and so forth. And also the Russian in Red.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was, at least we had to talk about that topic with you being on this podcast. So I thought that was one we
could have been here all day, and I would have shook it into you thick and thin, and just to go, mate, you are fucking wrong. Trust me on this, okay?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway,
that's
so back to the show.
I thought that was a great casting. I think it's going to be intriguing. I'm really excited to see what your thoughts are when they start bringing it into fruition. Going into my last topic here, this shouldn't take too much of a thing, but again, this is a topic right up your alley, and this is in relation to a film that you quote at the end of every single episode.
Oh, let's
Spaceballs. So it's in the news. This is reported by Deadline. That big news here before Amazon Studios takes the stage again, like I was saying at the beginning, take a stage the second time at Caesars Palace Coliseum for CinemaCon, and that's that the new Spaceball movie will be rolling into theaters on April 23rd, 2027. For us, probably be April 22nd because our films in Australia come out on the Thursday. So don't underestimate the final weekend of April at the box office. It's always been rich, whether it's Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Fast 5, or this year's Michael from Lionsgate. The feature, directed by Josh Greenbaum, Will and Harper, and written by Josh Gad, Dan Hernitz, and Ben Smith, has a storyline that's been kept secret, but you can probably figure out that it's a follow-up to the first 1987 cult Mel Brooks directed and starring feature. Returning cast members include Brooks, Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, George Wilder, and Daphne Zuniga, with new thespians including Gad, Kiki Palmer, Lewis Pullman, and Anthony Carrigan. Producers are Imagine's Brian Gazer, Ron Howard, Jim Brody, as well as Brooks, Gad, Greenbaum, and Kevin Salter. EPs are Adam whatever, don't care about that. Also, bowing on April 23rd is we don't care anything about that, and it's pretty much telling about that. So the whole thing is that deadlines are pretty much confirming and reporting that Spaceballs 2 has got its release date official for next year, April 22nd in Australia, 23rd in North America. What is your thoughts about this film? Finally, we knew it's coming out next year, but it's got an official release date in April, end of April. I assume you'll be there opening weekend. I'll probably try and come with you, even though a lot of the references will go straight over my head because
I reckon a lot of references you'll probably get because they've had to modernize it. And after you watching the first one at my place,
that's the thing. I think I need to sit down again and try rewatch it because when I sat down and watched it the first time, I got 20 minutes into it, and because I wasn't laughing, you turned it off, saying if you haven't laughed by now, you're not going to laugh at all. I went, well, I can't help it, but maybe I think at that time I was in the wrong mindset for a comedy, and so I got a big bug in my phone. Well, what big bug? So I think I might have to give it another go, but make sure I'm in a comedy sense frame of mind to watch it. And I think just before this movie comes out, like maybe a little bit before it, I'll sit down and rewatch it again. But I have to be with you in a comedy frame of mind to watch it again. But I know this won't take too much time to talk about because it's got a release date. But what's your appreciation of this film?
What's your thoughts? Shit.
Yeah, I thought so too. No.
It will be shit, which is a space. See, I was doing that to you earlier, and you weren't taking attention to it. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Lost the bleeps, lost the sweeps, and I lost the creeps. But I'm looking forward to watching it with my Mr. Coffee. And
only reference I get is how many asses are there on this ship anyway?
Yo, how many assholes are on this podcast anyhow? Yo.
That's the only thing I know.
Yes.
But yeah,
he's an asshole too, sir. He's this asshole, major asshole. No, it's going to be awesome. And
you hope so. We're getting a lot of these legacy sequels lately, and
have you seen Mel
comedy
Brooks's?
Is so hard. And
have you watched? You got to go into the Mel Brooks library of fantasticness, mate. I recently rewatched after a long time Blazing Saddles recently, and
I saw that.
Yeah, it's completely dated, but that's the idea behind it because it was made in the 70s, and a lot of the stuff is just so politically wrong, and that's what makes it funny. Okay, it is just hold your ears, folks. It's showtime. That's all I can really say. Anything else I quote from the movie is considered racist. And so Blazing Saddles, you got to go down the Mel Brooks path of satire. So you've already done Spaceballs, but you need to watch History of the World Part 2, which is on Netflix. I apologize. That's on Disney Plus. But History of the World Part 1 and Mel Brooks' a solid movie. Also, you saw Robin Hood Men in Tights?
I did, no?
Yeah. That's lampooning Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and all the stuff. And Dracula Dead and
I need to make sure I'm in these good frames of mind for these kind of comedies because some of these I find some.
You should be watching that. Have you seen the Producers on stage, the theatre?
No.
The Producers is right up your alley, mate, because it is a musical comedy. Especially the movie with Uma Thurman, Nathan Lane.
I haven't seen it. It's the thing. I'm going to talk about this as we sign off, but that will be on. That is on my list.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. You got to. I'm not forcing it for you to watch any of this stuff because I know what you're like. Just like how you know what I'm like. Okay, so whenever you get a chance, feel free to experiment with some Mel Brooks stuff, and then you realize the 99-year-old comedian is just fantastic.
Yeah.
He's 99 at the time of this recording.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to bring that up. So the fact that it's got a release date now, we know it's coming, and it was all shot here in Australia. which is fantastic here in Sydney, which is makes it even better. And so we're going to be gearing up. Well, I know Matt's going to be gearing up to watching this film in theaters for opening weekend. So we'll take it on from there. And that wraps up our Entertainment Honourable Mentions.
Yeah, that's right about the energy that after venting about Dexter, you went too hard on me, mate, and I just let it all out. And same with Spaceballs, mate. So,
I had you,
all
mate.
right. I think we've got time.
I believe I can fly. I gotta let you can fly, man. I gotta let you fly.
All right,
I'm gonna finish off this episode with a movie review. So I saw a brand new release. As the recording of this podcast, a film came out, I think last week, from memory. And it is the sequel to a very successful animated film, and this is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a great bit of fun, full of nostalgia. I walked out of that film like feeling like I was back when I was a kid playing Mario Kart 64 and Mario and Donkey Kong and all that kind of stuff. I had so much fun with the first one. Yes, the story wasn't really that strong, but the amount of moments and hits it gave you and just all the little, like I said, all those fantastic moments. I had such a ball watching that film. And then I rewatched it again before going into Galaxy, and I just had just as much fun. I just loved watching that film. Like I said, the story wasn't strong, but the moments made up for it as well. So I really enjoyed it. And I gave the first one 4 stars on my Letterboxd, which is fantastic.
Wow.
All those member berries were in there, and I had a ball just watching that.
Was it full on nostalgic?
Yeah.
Was it like very meta and nostalgic moments that happened within the actual movie itself?
Yeah, so hold on a second. There we go.
Yep.
I'm gonna kill a bug. That's disgusting. So yeah, it was just the way the animation was beautiful and all that kind of stuff was fantastic, and the way they brought that into how they just shown everything. They referenced Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and all that fun stuff. It was just great to see. So I had some expectations going into the sequel with Galaxy, and especially with bringing in I would say one of my favorite characters within the Mario universe, which is Yoshi. I was really looking forward to it. And I can say that the Yoshi did not disappoint. I don't understand why they brought in Donald Glover for Yoshi, because you didn't really need him, because all he did was, Yoshi, Yoshi, Yoshi. That's all he was pretty much saying.
I am Groot. Same deal?
Yeah. Like, there are so many amazing voice actors they could have gotten who are underappreciated and underpaid. They could have gotten for that, but why they need to get a list star just to promote, I don't know. But outside of that, and Bowser also delivers yet again. Like, he was the gold mine for me in this in both the first one and the second. He has all the comedic side of things was all done to Bowser, with some moments by Yoshi, but he also brought in the massively cute factor, which I loved as well. And so, yeah, so Bowser was definitely, like, all the comedic moments were done by Bowser, and some with Yoshi and things like that. So, but to not bury the lead, I did not enjoy this movie as much as the first one. I gave this film 2.5 stars on my Letterboxd. I gave it a like with 2.5 stars because it was visually still beautiful. Illuminations, animation style for the first one and this one has not lost a beat. It's still beautiful to look at. It's vibrant. It's colored. The sound design and the editing is done beautifully with all the different moments of using the world that is Mario and all the different sound effects and things like that were all done very well. It expands the world as a little bit as it can, but that's where I find the film lacks. They did not learn the mistakes they made with the first one, with having not a strong story and not enough backbone. They didn't learn with the sequel. There is literally not much of a story. It's literally a kind of a repeat in a way, where you're just going. They're on a quest to save the princess, in a way, and there's not much too
not
different
much
to that.
substance.
No, they rely again. What worked with the first one, they relied again heavily with the second one with all nostalgia points. I didn't get as many of the references with this one because I haven't played many of the modern games. So a lot of the references they would have made in this one, I didn't get. They went straight over my head because I didn't get anything. And so unlike the first one where they're referencing Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and the simulators where Mario jumps up and down and goes through portals and things like that. I got a lot of those references in the first one, but I didn't get hardly any of the second in the second one. Um, I found that I was missing Donkey Kong in this one. That Donkey Kong's not in the second one, and I thought that was a missed opportunity. I really enjoyed Donkey Kong done by Seth Rogen in the first one, and I would have liked him to be still part of the group, which is unfortunate as well. And there is no character development. Yes, you have the stereotypical a little bit of change when it comes to Mario going after Peach, but other than that, there's nothing development. The characters are still all the same. You don't see any progression. Like I know it is a kid centric film where they try to target for a younger audience, but
now
please go on.
Sorry, no, you go.
Yeah, I just think like even though they say these are kid friendly films, but they still are making it for both younger and older audience as well. So I thought that yes, you would have the memory berries and the visuals being stunning and all that kind of fun stuff. But I would like some sort of substance of a base of different characters. Like if you can do a film like Inside Out 2 or Zootopia 2 or even a movie like Lego Movie where that is very much based off a similar thing where it's based off Lego blocks, but you can have a great narrative story behind it.
But then again, with Lego 2, Lego 2 wasn't strong enough.
No, it wasn't. But at least Lego shows that you can make a great narrative, kind of good story behind a film and still have a lot of those memory berries and good visuals and big stunning animation and things like that. Because the first Mario Brothers movie, it had all those memory berries, but the story wasn't really that strong. But what made it work is because it was fresh, it was new, it was all this different heart was put into the fact that all these different moments throughout the world of Mario was put into the forefront of your mind and things like that. So I didn't like. I don't say it's the worst movie I've seen because that's still my worst film of 2026 so far for me is still Scream 7, but I didn't walk out of this film on a buzz of nostalgia and of a fandom and child coming out of me like I did with the first one, which is a very shame. And I thought that I would have liked it, but I always would give props where they're due. I said that the negatives were like I showed it with the negatives, but the positives were definitely the animation was beautiful to look at, the sound design was great. Tyler, what's his name? Brian Tyler's score was on point, just like it was in the first one. The voice acting is done as good as it can be, with bringing in Brie Larson as Rosalina, and you've got all these different actors coming back and doing great jobs as much as they can. I think they shoe in some character that are just there for the sake of being there, which is fortunately I don't remember the character's name, but it's the character voiced by oh crap, what's his name? I got my Letterboxd here, so where are we? See, so Glenn Powell. So he brings in a character called Fox McCloud, which I didn't know who that character was because I haven't played the games.
Sky Fox.
Yeah. He gets but he gets kind of like shoe in, like all of a sudden he just pops up and he's there, and I went
Sky Fox is a Nintendo game. It's Sky Fox 64, so it was a great game.
But he gets kind of like, I didn't think that they brought in his character, and it wasn't like, it was just like, I don't think it was warranted. Like he was just going, we're just going to put him in there because it's going to give some buzz to the fans. And
from what I've heard, it was just a major nostalgia cash grab, kind of like when they did Space, like Space Jam and New Legacy. The fact that they got all the IP for it, they just crammed in whatever they could.
Yeah, so I thought this film was a disappointment for me. It didn't live up to the first one. But at the same time, it's done very, very well. It's currently sitting on as a box office mojo. It's sitting at $414 million worldwide. It actually broke a record for this week, so it's the biggest opening of the year thus far for 2026. It's beat out Scream 7. It got, for its domestic opening box office, it got 130.9 million for its domestic box office, 372.4 million worldwide, and it's what's it called? It's actually beat out the first Mario Brothers movie, which that opened that the first Mario. Sorry, this movie went under what the first Mario Brothers movie did, which was 146.3 million on its opening domestic weekend. So the first movie and the second movie are trailing for only 15 million behind each other. So the first one did better on its opening weekend than this one did, but it's still the highest grossing film its biggest opening weekend for a film of 2026 thus far, which it's not going to be. It's going to be not going to be. It's going to be. That's not going to be much of a change because there's a big blockbuster movie also coming out this year as well that's going to eclipse it. But at the present moment, according to this podcast, it is the biggest opening for a film thus far. But fortunately for me, this film disappointed me. It did not live up to my expectations for the film, unfortunately. I don't think I'll be rushing to go see it again. If it comes out on streaming on a certain streaming service, I might give another go. Maybe a second rewatch might change my mind, maybe. But I know my first official watch, it definitely let some things down for me. But
when it comes to Mario,
when it comes to Mario Brothers, did you watch the first one? And for secondly, have you got interest in watching the sequel?
When it comes out on streaming.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still again yet to see the first one, but it's right up my alley of gaming movies. Hell, I'm looking forward to Sonic 4 more than anything.
Does that come out this year or is that next year?
2027.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was that. I think they released a title card for that after they said that Kristen Bell's coming on board. But I love the Sonic films. They know what they are. They don't try to hide it. They are a good bit of fun films. I've enjoyed all three of those films.
And you know why Jim Carrey keeps going back? You know why he keeps going back to him? Because they allow him to do whatever the hell they want. So he's got a lot of creative control.
He does. And those films don't work without him. If they took Jim Carrey out of it, they wouldn't work.
But the way that they ended 3, it was more or less if Jim didn't want to come back, they could continue on. But
it wouldn't be. I think I wouldn't be excited to see a Sonic movie if they said that if Sonic 4 was coming out and they said Jim Carrey's not in it. I wouldn't be excited for it.
Nah, but I'll still watch it. But I just wouldn't be enthusiastic.
Intrigued, but the 80% of that comedy of that franchise comes from Jim Carrey.
Of course,
what makes that film work is Jim Carrey's Eggman. But unfortunately, the same kind of spirit that it has with Sonic, even though that's live action and it's just animated, I just found that this film was a letdown for me personally. I was watching seeing on my Letterboxd, and our certain friend of the podcast, Mr. Stuart Liddell, shout out to Stu. He saw this film and he gave it 4 stars. So he actually loved it. So
you're gonna remove him as friends then, aren't you?
Yep, done.
Yep,
That's
done.
I can't do it anymore. Sorry, mate, you're gone. But that's the great thing about these kind of entertainment. Like it hit me, didn't hit me at all. Looks like it's hitting a lot of people in the best way of light. So a lot of kids are enjoying it because they are playing the games. They're getting all the references and all the nostalgia berries are there. So they're getting all that hype. But when it comes to actually a solid narrative, which still you want from an animated feature film, it didn't deliver. So it fell short for me. But saying that, unfortunately, it is a film, but it is still doing very well, which I'm happy about. It's still people are getting enjoyment out of it, which is what you want. It may not have hit me, but unless it is getting some enjoyment from that as well. So that wraps up my review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Thank you, Reece.
Alrighty, so before we wrap up, I just want to touch on a couple of little things. So we introduced a segment week before last or something, episode before last or what it was, but when we did the anniversary, which will let our audience know what the next film of our anniversary segment is going to be on next episode. But I wanted to further appreciate our love of film and a few segments on our YouTube channel and some episodes on here. We've appreciated the art of the musical in theatre. And I want to further take that furthermore, if you allow me to, on this podcast, and appreciate movie musicals. I love my musicals. I love the way they make you feel. You're uplifted. You're singing. You're dancing, and it just makes you feel good. And I want to I want to take that time to appreciate that.
And I also love movie musicals too, but
in a different subgenre.
Yeah, exactly. I like black, dark comedy musicals, or movies that aren't known for being musical, or ones that are extreme tongue-in-cheek musicals. So
this is where it's going to be great because we're going to have a mixture. Like I'll do the
you've got your Wicked, you've got your Grease,
yeah,
I've got your
pretty much the popcorn, the very much the what would you call it? It's pretty much the
just musicals, like
just the stereotypical pop. What you see in the pop culture, the very much
theoretical musicals.
Yeah, the big theory musicals. But then we've got Maddie's going to take the reins of giving us reviews on certain other things. So we're going to bring in a new segment. It's called the music.
Out of tune.
Out of tune. Or maybe. I don't know.
I'm going to call it out. I'm sorry.
We're going to workshop it. We'll workshop it. But we're going to dedicate some time around movie musicals and appreciating them. So we're going to start reviewing not just, I'm going to be watching movie musicals that I've never seen before, but and also doing a retrospective and maybe going rewatching movie musicals that I haven't seen in a while and re-reviewing them. So we're going to be doing one coming up. So I have recently rewatched Dear Evan Hansen, which is a film adaptation from a stage musical. So that will be coming up on a episode in the coming future with me reviewing that. Along with that, I'm going to do a retrospective for a movie that I've never seen before, which Matt Man here has loved since I've known him, and he's been trying to get me for years to watch it. I'm finally going to watch it. Yeah. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to review it on this podcast, and that is The Blues Brothers. That is coming up as well. So I've got a whole list of films, movie musicals.
The funny thing is, right?
What's the
funny thing is? Hold on.
And now he's putting his headphones down, and we're going back into the delving of the collection that is his DVDs.
You know what I've done?
And what has he got for us now?
I've already donated them to the op shop. I actually had the VHS of The Blues Brothers.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, but I've also got a regular DVD version, but I've also got the 4K version of Blues Brothers. Well,
I've got the digital version.
And I've got the soundtrack of it as well.
Well, I got the digital version on my iTunes account, so I'll be watching it soon. So that's coming up. I've got a whole list of films that music musicals that I haven't seen before, ones I have. I'm going to do a rewatch. So we're going to throw some reviews in the coming, maybe once or twice a month, and just do a appreciation. Not just we're pretty workshop the title, but it's going to be appreciation of movie musicals. So we're throwing out all these new little segments around just to bring some freshness to this podcast and what we're going to be doing.
You're saying it's stale already.
I'm not saying no such thing. I just want to bring in new things.
Oh, well.
So that's everything else. So keep your ears and eyes open for that on both our channels, on YouTube and on this one, for all things coming for musicals and anniversaries and all things reviews. So I'm going to sign off this episode today with us today, and I want to thank Matt Man for everything that he does. You have no idea, our audience, all the things he does for us on this podcast behind the scenes. So I want to say a big thank you to you. You are incredible, and I want to wish everyone out there a fantastic rest of your week, your weekend. Be safe to yourselves, be positive, and above all, my family and friends out there, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is Reese's Review podcast for mygeekculture.com.au, produced by Matt Fulton Productions, mattfulton.com.au.
Take a breath, and the doomsday clock is getting closer.